Gotta check the tuning on this. I just picked it up after. Oh yeah, a little off. Yeah, you can hear that. Yeah, you can hear it. Definitely. I bet the bass is off too. Oh, that's pretty good. Maybe a little micro. There we go. Oh, that's pretty good. Acceptable. Yeah, it works. What's up, Seth? Got Noise Bloom, got Ken, Strat CPO, Trolls, Wendell. Knees hurt. How's the cat wheel working for you? They don't like the wheel. They're afraid of it. It's been a colossal failure. Probably going to sell it on Craigslist. What's up, Mark? Jeffrey, Vince, Chris, Yeti, Matzi, Trolls, Johnny, and Michael, and Richard, and Dave. What's up, Nelson and Scott? Speaker! What's up, BC Rich? Eric. Diana. Double R guitar. Matt. Eddie. That's pretty good. J Chef and Mark. Nice haircut. It's actually the same hair. It's just full of dirt because I did a lot of leaves out there today and I didn't have a chance to take a shower before I came on here. It's the natural hold of grime. Been about 4 years since you've seen me. Wow. Yeah, we tried the catnip. We tried putting like the feather. We tried a bunch of stuff. They like to sit in it, but the second it starts to move, they're like, "What the what?" and they run. Abandoned ship! Abandoned ship! It's like, damn. What's up, Zofo? Pete. What's up, Zoo? Exactly, put the wheel in a cardboard box, right? Get about 7 cardboard boxes in the living room. The cats do go crazy for the cardboard. They really do. They love it. We had a, big box left from when we got the couch. They were loving that. I think I had a dishwasher box too. Yeah, exactly, down and dirty. Sounds a little out. Now, a little bit. It's actually not that bad. That's a touch flat. All right, that's a little better. Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's got the cool paint too, you know. Depending on the angle, changes color. You know, I need more lights. Yeah, kind of like a reverse telly with a headstock, you know. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, Tony, it's not a haircut. It's just we haven't had any rain. We're like 7 inches below normal for rain since like September 1st. So we're really dry out there. The ground is like powder. We're in a red flag warning, all that stuff. So I was out there doing the leaves, and the dust is just so bad. I was going to take a shower, but my daughter hopped in the shower because she was going out, and then my wife hopped in the shower because she was going out. And I was like, it looks like I'm not taking a shower. Like I got scooped out of the freaking shower. They're like, sorry, I got to run. So I totally, I couldn't do it. So I just ran the comb through my hair, and there's so much dirt. Just wiping my face over there. My God, it's like the Shroud of Turin. Your Harley changes color like that, yeah. My mountain bike changes. That particular color, the blue to purple, has been around for a long time. Because my mountain bike is from like 1991. No shower for me. I got friggin' yeah. You know what the secret is to the product? To this dirt. That's genuine soil. You guys want to hear something else that was kind of weird? So, got a bird feeder, like to feed the birds. And they were actually out of the suet I like at Home Depot. And a lot of their stuff out there, they keep it outdoors. And you'll see mice run across there. And it's like a friggin' aviary. There's so many goddamn birds. Like, the birds there are insane. So, a lot of their stuff is ripped open or just gone. So they didn't have the suet. They're out. So I said, okay, I'll order it off of like Amazon. So I looked on there and I found like one with lots of sales and lots of, this suet is awesome. This is like the best stuff. Oh, they love this stuff. Whatever. Okay, I'll order it. It's pretty cheap actually. It's like $20 for a dozen cakes. So, that's less than $2 a cake. So that's pretty good. Not bad. So I get it. And, it's wrapped in a sleeve just like it is at the store. You know, they usually have a sleeve cut open and you're just taking out individual cakes, but each individual cake is wrapped, right? So that's how it works. So open it up. You know, I get the bird feeder in. It's on the kitchen counter, and it's right outside the kitchen window on a hook. So I usually have to reach out the kitchen window, take it off the hook, bring it in, fill it up with seed. And I'm going to fill the suet cakes. And it was cold. And I said, oh, the bird's going to love this. So I open up the first suet cake, and I look down, and I see, like, a couple of bugs crawling on the counter. It's like, what the hell is this? It's so cold out, I know it's not. And I can see, they're all over the goddamn cake. I was like, oh my God. It's like larva, like a worm, like working its way out. And I was like, holy shit. Red alert. And I throw it in the suet container, you know, in the basket. And I rip open the other one, and it's the same way. It came with insects. And I was like, there's no way it's supposed to be like this. And so I throw them on there and get the thing out, and I'm getting the bugs, like, they're pretty slow. They're black. They look like, you ever see like a flower beetle, right? Or a flower. It looks like a food-eating bug. Bugs that get into corn, like millet and, you know, things like that. It's like those. It's like a weevil almost. Anyway, I get them all dead. I'm like 100% positive. There was only a couple of them that actually fell off the cake. And like I said, they're moving slow. It's not like a roach that's like, pew. I was like, oh, thank God. So I threw the cakes out there. And, you know, they went out into near freezing temperatures. Almost like, you know, close to 0 C. Roughly 31, 32 Fahrenheit. And, my God, the birds ripped those apart. Seemed to really like it. But I was incensed. And it was because it's a food product, it's a non-return product. There was like, hey, I can't give you a refund no matter what. I said the product was defective. They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. No refunds on this. I called them up. I called Amazon and explained the situation, and they gave me a full refund. Because I was like, yeah, no. So I actually threw it out in the garage, and I double-checked it today. It's not like it's bugs crawling on it. Like I said, it is double wrapped. It's got each individual cake is wrapped and sealed in plastic. Plus, the whole sleeve is in plastic. And I was looking at it today, and I wasn't seeing bugs crawling around. So I just think that, you know, I think that it might have been a little bit more of a woodpecker treat than... I think they went over there and, like, ripped all those friggin' bugs off of it. Yeah, but there was no way. There's no way that was supposed to be like that. That was just, it was just gross. Oh yeah, no, the cats will sit at the window in the kitchen and be like, calm down over there. I want to kill them. I want to kill them all. And I know. They're just dying. Amazon does have a phone number that they actually answer. Exactly, it's just extra protein. You guys watched the fight last night? It just kept buffering. You know, I had to keep like resetting the app. Then it would come back and it would play for a little bit and it would look good. And look like I was behind, then it would be all of a sudden buffering again, friggin' out. So the highlights, yeah. It was, I tell you, you could see, you know, Mike Tyson and I are about 4 weeks apart in age. He's like 4 weeks younger than me. I was born in March and he was born, I think, in April. Same year. So we're the same age. And, you know, I could see him getting tired after a couple of rounds. I could feel it, right? He was having trouble throwing punches, right? He's out of gas. Unlike a dude 30 years his junior, who was not out of gas. So, you know, I'll hand it to Jake Paul for not trying to, like, knock out Mike Tyson and, you know, just letting the show go on. But it was, it felt a little bit more serious in, like, the first round or two, and then it just became mostly an exhibition after that. Yeah, because when, how old was George Foreman when he had that big comeback fight? He was like 10 years younger than Tyson, or 15, right? Wasn't he in his 40s, early 40s? He wasn't in his 50s. Much younger, I thought. And he had that big comeback fight. Oh, no, it's a good... Listen, all boxing is a money grab. What sucked is how much... is that Jake Paul got $40 million, and Mike Tyson only got $20 million, you know? You would have hoped they could have split the purse rather than have it go primarily to Jake Paul, but whatever. Yeah, like 44? I think you're right. I think he was like 14 years younger. That sounds about right. I thought he was in his like early 40s. And like, what the hell is he doing out boxing? But that's, you know, that's a long, you know, I think about the yard work I used to do in my early 40s versus, you know, now. It's like night and day. You get knocked out way faster now. It's not even close. And of course, in the 40s, I was complaining about how tough it was getting. Right? The slide continues. Hello, Italy. The pre-fights, I didn't see much of them. It kept, and I wasn't as, you know, crazy about trying to keep up with it, but I kept losing signal. You know, I kept buffering. I'd come back, I'd be watching it for a while. It would go for a while. Then I'd go, I was installing some software, and I had to keep going and checking on it. And I'd come back, and it would be buffering. I'd be like, oh, come on. Was the purse that big with the McGregor-Floyd fight? Really? Oh, wow. Rare sighting. Oh, wow. It's Cowcat. I have a window open. Cowcat. There's already a cat up there. Cowcat doesn't like it when there's another cat up there. Cowcat decides, am I going to go up there? Cowcat looks. That's Cookie Dough. Cookie Dough Cowcat. Otherwise known as Sweetie, which is a bit of a misnomer. She's quite vicious. Yeah, Yeah, Mike Tyson walking around with his ass out, right, wearing a jockstrap. They should have played the thong song, but you know, who was the freaking segment? Oh, well, Cowcat walks away. Cowcat says nope. Yeah, Tyson was gnawing on his glove, but he's been known to do that. Yeah, Rosie Perez doing the commentary, I know. A little crazy. What is that? That's... Where's my... Where's my best, like, is it that, or is it... That's actually not bad. That's the, position 4. If anyone's keeping score at home, check your bingo card. Like he said, I have a biting fixation. Yeah, this is an impressive guitar. People are telling me that they've switched makers now, that they're made in India now. And then immediately went to the soft bigotry of low expectations. And I was like, have you played one yet? They're like, they're in India now. Blah! It's like, how many guitars from India have you played? What are you basing this on? Talk about judging a book by its cover. Give it a chance. Trust me, if it sucks, you'll hear about it. No, Chapman's a loner. Oh yeah, you have an ML1? I had an ML1 here. Not a Pro, I had the ML1 Modern. It was a loner. I want to say I had that here 2018 maybe. But it was matte finished. I like this better. I like the gloss finish a lot better. I just like gloss finish guitars better than matte finish guitars. You know, I just like it a lot better. And the other one had Chapman pickups, and this has Duncan pickups. I think the Duncans sound better. So, you know, it's got that going for it. Hey, speaking of books, look what showed up. My bro book. Did you get yours, speaker? What I laughed about was the signature was clearly done. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I got to go back a little bit. Clearly done in a sticker. Like he signed a bunch of stickers and then they affixed it to the book. He wasn't signing the books themselves. That's schlepping a lot of books around. No. They printed. They had a bunch of stickers printed, and he, signed the sticker, and then they affixed the sticker. So it is signed, but it's not really a signed book so much as it is a signed sticker affixed to a book. Still use overload. You're soaking in it. Feels no, I know, right? Kind of lame. Kind of lame, you know. Couldn't sign the book, bro. Played your guitar for the first time in a month. I'd say this is the first time I've been playing all of it. Much this week. So much to do. In fact, I was up super early this morning because I took out the trailer. Riding with my homies. That trailer life. Had the trailer out right up to the dump. And you know what? Even my wife said as we were finishing up, she goes, look how much busier it is here. I'm so glad we came so early. I said, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was, you know, you got to get that. Here's the thing. It opens at 8, but it's actually busier at 8 than it is at like 8:15, 8:30. Because you get that, like, I was up at, 6 a.m. I'm raring to go. I'm right at the gate at 8 o'clock. I want to get in here and get out. And they go through pretty quickly. And then it's actually a little quiet until like regular people get up and start heading over. So you get that first you get that first wave, and then it's pretty good. It was nice and quiet. I was able to get up. I had a bunch of brush. Oh my God! I took down a bunch of limbs on the tree out front, and those are sort of towards the back, and then way up front near where the trailer hitches to the car, that end. Was a lot of leaves that had gone through a mulcher, so they were pretty condensed. And man, felt good to empty that whole thing out and get all that shit out of there. And it was easy to move around. It was, when it gets too busy there. And I had this extra friggin' chair that had been sitting in the living room for like 3 weeks. It's like, oh my God, bring this chair up to the dump. It's annoying me. We finally got it up there today. So trailer to the rescue, man. That thing. At least the book is finding a book signing, something special about it. Had to work. Yeah. I've only been to one book signing, although I did go to I'll tell you, actually, now that I think about it, that was the second book event that happened to me this week. Many years ago, I went to see Roger Ebert. In fact, I can tell you the exact weekend we went to see him. It was the weekend Titanic hit theaters. Because he talked about the movie. He talked about Titanic and how he thought the movie was going to be big. And there was like one douchebag in the crowd who was trying to make him defend some stuff, and he just wasn't having it. He's like, what about this? You said this. And it's like, oh, fuck off, douche. Really? Like, nobody... Like, beat it, punk. And then we went through a line, and we got to talk to him. And I asked him if I said, do you think eventually, at some point, theaters will go away because home theater will become so good that you won't need to go to the theater to get that extra experience that the audio and the video at home And he said, no, I don't think so. He goes, because there's still a social component. People just want to get out of the house and they want to go out. And so I think it'll always be around. That was his answer. His words, not mine. Yeah, Roger Ebert. And he signed the book. And he was super nice. And I also went to a, I guess it was kind of like what Alex Van Halen did. It was sort of an interview where it's like a person who's got a book that's out. In fact, as you walked in the door, each person who walked into the door got a copy of the book. Now, I heard some people around me lamenting that the book wasn't signed, but, it was a pretty full theater, and I'd say it was well over 1,000 people in there, and that's a lot of books to sign. So I wasn't surprised that the book wasn't signed. The book was 100 of My Favorite Recipes by Martha Stewart. And we were in like the 5th row. We were right up front. And Martha comes out, and she's got this local, chef, this woman, who I guess is kind of hot shit. And a lot of people in the audience seem to know her. I had no idea who she was. And it's funny because when Martha starts talking, you can't help but hear the parodies, right? It's like, oh my God, no, that really is what she sounds like. Right? Holy shit. Wow, that's her. She was really sharp. She was funny. She was quick and everything. She showed her age walking out and walking back. Everybody in the audience, that was a slow walk out. And that was a slow and fragile walk back. I said to my wife, the second she got around the corner, she got into a chair. There's no way she kept walking. I said, everybody was like, you gotta be okay. We were like, oh my God. That's where she showed her age. Not when she was talking though. Real quick, funny, witty, you knew all her shit, like total recall, remember this thing, that thing, this recipe, that, really good, really quick. But the walking, almost like she had a bad hip or something. She was so gingerly walking, and I was like, oh, Jesus. You could hear people around her going like, holy shit, don't fall. Oh, well, the funny thing is of course they saved the best question for last, and it was about her relationship with Snoop. And she just basically said, we've pollinated each other's markets. Right? I reach people that in his market that would never know of me, and he reaches people in my market that would never know of him. And that way we expand our horizons. And I was like, there you go. She's business. She's all business. So, anyway, I have Martha's new cookbook, which I have to say is stunning. Like, it's very well done. It's an expensive book. So, I mean, just the book alone has I think a $40 cover price. So, I don't think the tickets were much more than that. So, it's like you get the book discounted, and they throw that in, and it was nice. We'll give one away for Christmas, because we got 2 of them. We'll pick out the one that has the best cover and give that away as a gift. Yeah. Oh no, she is. You could tell right away. She's sharp, real sharp. Coolio has a cookbook. I think right now, what's the big thing? Alcohol, right? Every celebrity has their own line of alcohol. It's their publicist. Listen, you need a new shoe out. You need a new line of alcohol. We're going to get you a new line of friggin' sports sandals. Right? Come on. Roll this in. Let's do this. What's the spec on the Chapman, bro? Well, you know, there's a link in the description for all the specs. Hit Zounds. They'll tell you. I have a full video on it. Go check the video. Yeah, it's wood and metal. And it's got magnets. Check that out. Double magnets. It's a Pegasus and a Sentient. Which one is which? I have no freaking idea. It's a coin flip for me. But one of those is a Pegasus and one of those is a Sentient. Which one is which? And of course, it's got the flip-floop paint, which is why it's turning purple. It's got a great neck on it, but again, people were telling me that they don't make these anymore. Is Chapman going direct? Because I got this from Zounds. Pegasus Bridge Sentient neck. There you go. Let it forever be forth known. Pegasus Bridge. Sentient neck. I actually did a little jamming this week with some friends. We did yeah, lots of fun. What else did we do? We did we had a keyboard player and a bassist. If Hendrix were alive, he would probably be playing a Sentient in the neck and a Pegasus. What was it? A Sentient in the neck and a Pegasus in the bridge. Did I get that right now? Yeah, Pegasus in the bridge, Sentient in the neck. Probably. We can only speculate. What amp did I use? You know, he had this pretty cool sound. We were going through his Mac. He's got a new, he basically got a new Mac. And he's like, I can bring my Mac. Okay. Listen, he's got a new toy. Okay. So I was like, sure. And what I did was I had a headphone amp. So I broke out the Rolls. I get a Rolls headphone amp. That's how I rolls. And we all plugged into that. And then it worked out great. Because that Rolls has a lot of power because it's meant to drive 250 ohm headphones. Right? It's a Pro unit. So, but it's so old it doesn't have like a digital in. So it's a little old, right? It's only analog ins. But it worked out great. At first, it was a little tricky getting it going in Logic, but he just basically had me go through, and I just started clicking patches, and the first few were just garbage. But then we had a few that were really nice, including this one that they were like, ooh, because it was like this big stereo patch. And the whole time we were playing, they were both, that sounds really good. I'm like, no, it does. They clearly have some sort of stereo amp, some sort of stereo processing. It sounds really good. And the bass was way more dry and direct, but not completely direct. He was going through, I think, a little bass amp. And then, of course, the keyboard player was going through some sort of VST. VSTi to get the sound, and it all worked. The only thing he couldn't get going were the drums. Every time he tried to enable the drums, it cut out. It was almost like it would solo the track. He couldn't get them to run, and the other items not cut out. As long as he didn't have the drums running, everything else worked fine. But the second he started playing the drums, we all lost our signal. It turned the drums off. It all came back again. We were like, oh, we'll just acapella that shit. And I don't even want to know what he spent on that Mac, but I suspect it was a lot of money. Just found out this weekend you can connect your Bluetooth headphones to your big screen TV. Yeah. Sometimes you have to adjust the audio though because there's a lag. Right, they have a way to front buffer it. The John Mayer's throwing you. So yeah, there's two, right? Yeah, one's to the 4 and one's to the flat 7. It's a 7, but it's flat because of the key. Yeah. What if Zakk Wylde? Do I know any Chris DeGarmo? No, I don't even know who that is. Sorry. Picture the trailer full of Marshall stack. Sure. Zakk Wylde. Oh, Jeff Beck's wife is auctioning off his gear. That's a bummer. I suppose, what are you going to do with it? Put it in a museum, I suppose, but, I know, I needed more pinch. That lends itself better. Is it Christie's auctioning off? Yeah. Good intonation on this guitar. For my members, the members only, I'll be coming up with a couple of members only videos soon. I'm thinking about what to do, but YouTube sent me a notice, basically saying you should post more members only videos. And I was like, okay. Like Chad. Okay. So, keep an eye out for my members. Keep an eye out for that. Because, they'll be members only. Yeah, they're trying to push it. They basically sent me a letter. Not a letter in the mail, but, they sent me an email. It's legit, too. Basically, like, you have members, you're supposed to put up member-only content, and, we really like to see you put out 2 videos before, the end of the year, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I, for one, accept my new YouTube overlord. It's like, whatever you need, bro. They sounded serious. So, yeah, members only jackets are required. It's part of the uniform. So, keep your eye out for that. There was some product launches this week. I won't get into which product, but there was a product that they had reached out to me, but it was sort of a weird thing. I don't want to say what company, but basically they reached out and they're like, hey, we'd love to, send you a product and have you check it out and, and do a video. And I was like, sure. But then, and I thought it was all cool. And then they were like, oh, but here's our, I don't know what you want to call it, like a schedule of requirements. And it was like crazy. They're like, yeah, you need to send us a high-res copy that we can use in any way we want. And mind you, they're not paying me for this, right? They're just sending me a piece of gear. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not sending you my video. As a matter of fact, the only thing you can do is embed it. I don't even want you to download it. So, no. And they wanted to, really dictate what went out. They really wanted... So I'm sure any video you see, they probably dictated those terms. I don't see how I would be any different from anyone else who put that video out. And it was things like, we get to look it over first. We get at least one edit, where we can, make changes as to content and all this stuff. And I was like, from the get-go, I was like, yeah, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, there was like so much shit in it. I wrote them back and I said, hey, I saw that thing. I'm like, I don't want to litigate like each and every term in there. So let's just say that one doesn't, that whole sheet doesn't apply to me. That I'm not going to do that. And at first they were like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, no worries. You do your thing and it's all cool, and then they had a couple of requirements. You got to mention the product. Well, that's easy. And a call to action, like check a link in the description. You know what? That I have no problem with, right? Mention the product and like a call to action. I was like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, sure, no problem. But then like a day later, they're like, ran it past the team. Go on. And team, it's very important to the team, like the items on that list, and so unfortunately it's going to be a no from us. And I was like, okay, whatever, bro. I can tell you one thing. You know what I could have done? The way I probably should have done it was just like never even mention that stupid attachment. Wait until they send me the product and say like, oh, I saw that, but that doesn't apply to me. I'm not doing that. But I already have the product here. That's what we call leverage. Right? So it's like I have the product. I can put the video out. We can have one of two videos. One where I'm going over everything in the product, and it's probably going to be glowing. They usually are. Or one where I talk about how this company wanted to like dictate everything I freaking said about it. Wanted to see the video ahead of time. Wanted to edit something out if they didn't like something. And I was just like, yeah, no, sorry, can't, no. That's a hard no. First of all, by the time you're seeing the video, I've already rendered it and uploaded it to YouTube. There's no deleting that video. I mean, there is, but then I would have to go back, shoot more cuts, re-render the video, throw it all back up there. That is hours and hours of work. That is not, I'm not a dude on my freaking phone going, start, boop, 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 stop, up to YouTube, done. This is 3 cams, all the overhead angles, looking at shit, looking at products, doing multiple cams, sending 80 to 100 gigs worth of data up to my friggin' video editing box, going through that, running all those edits, sitting there and waiting for that stupid thing to render, uploading, an 8 to 10 gig final file up to YouTube. It's all a bunch of work. So by the time it gets to, the point where I'm showing you the video, that's what we in the business would call to bed. It's over, Johnny. It's over. We're not going back and re-rendering and recutting and redoing anything. So, no. Yeah, no, some companies are surprisingly difficult to work with. So, anyway, that was an easy no. I even went back to him and said, well, can we like do this? But I got no reply. I was like, all right, whatever. They had reached out to me after that and was like, we're really sorry. They were very nice. I'm not saying, they're very nice. But, the marketing, the team, I just can't help but think of Hot Fuzz. We'll see what the team has to say about this. Oh, God, that is good coffee. Got a new handheld this week. The new Pow Kitty, what's it, like a 20SX Pro? it's an interesting beast because it's a really small screen. It's a vertical unit, not a horizontal, like your phone. It's vertical. But it's got a 3.2 inch 1024 by 768 screen, which results in a 400 ppi. So it's small, but it's crisp, really crisp. And that's like a magic number, that 1024 by 768, because a lot of titles will just 3x or 6x or 4x and like match that framing like just right. So it's been cool. I'd like to see more. It really needs a new third-party custom firmware. The firmware on it, it's Rock Nix, which is just okay. I'd like to see. God, I'd love to see Arc OS on it, or Rock Newly, but who knows? Probably going to be. What's the new one everyone's talking about? Like MuOS, which is, I think, they're all forks of something. I think it's a fork of Batocera. Just like Rock Nix is a fork of Jellos. What is the handheld model? It's a little gaming device. But it looks pretty good. I gotta say, it looked crisp. It looked pretty crispy. I got one that I bought in like early September. I thought they were going to ship it. They're like, this ships. They sent me an email after I bought it. Take the money right away. They're like, yeah, this is going to ship at the end of October. I'm like, the end of October? Son of a bitch, that was information I could have used before I bought it. It's getting rave reviews. It's got an OLED screen. It's in there saying it's like super bright. It's got a nice chip in it too. It's got Snapdragon, so it's got some power, right? It's like a 2020 Snapdragon, but in the world of cheap handhelds, that's like super mega power, right? You're not going to get they don't have the money to sink into like the latest Snapdragon chip to put in these things. It's, it's old chips, and they put them in for, you're talking units that sell between 50 and the most expensive like 200. So it was supposed to ship at the end of October. Of course, they send out emails saying we still have to squash a few more bugs. Now it's going to ship on November 14th. Well, it's November 16th, and I haven't seen an email that it shipped yet. I suspect it's going to be delayed till like the end of the month. Almost time for a guitar swap? Yeah. You guys want the Vola? Just to watch heads explode. I guess I can leave this on here. How much less? Distortion? A little better there. Looks smaller than the Chapman. Could be an optical illusion. I think it actually feels a little heavier. Sounds almost the same as the Chapman. Well, they're both Duncan pickups. Lots on the new metal scene. You know, I don't know anything about it. I don't really follow it. Since you did the fretwork, did they still have meat on? Oh no, they had meat left on them. That's why I did the crown, because I knew I could. I didn't really have to do anything past like the 15th fret. But no, it definitely they have some nice meat left on them. Without a doubt, you know. Hear that? Someone was saying, you know, the plate isn't right for custom. It's not custom. It's custom paint, but that's not custom shop. It's an E serial, and it's a very low serial, which would be correct because this is the old ESP neck before they went to 3-piece. So no, it all checks out. It's a low E 3000s, I think this is. That's right in line with where it's supposed to be. Pointy headstock is an E serial number. It's all correct. Yeah, it is a good-looking guitar. There she blows. People like, you just buy a new pickguard to get rid of the hot spot. I could. They were saying go to WD. I have not had good luck with WD, and I don't know. I don't even know if that's a standard Strat pickup, pickguard. I certainly wouldn't have that in the correct place, which means I got to take this out and I got to trace it and send it to WD. And you got to let them know whether, because I bought a Viper pickguard off of them, and it was all wrong. They countersunk things that didn't need to be countersunk, and they didn't countersink things that needed to be countersunk. It was a mess. I went to this other guy who's unfortunately no longer in business. I went to this guy on eBay. And when I tell you that thing was an absolute perfect repro of the Viper, I wish that guy was still in business. He was the best. He even cut out the word Viper on it and everything. He had the right thickness. He had the right bevel on the edge. He had everything down like perfect. That dude was a taskmaster, and I loved it. WD not so much. So it's like, I don't know where to go because, either this is mounted weird or it's cut weird, but it does look like this is like barely, fitting here. Are they using just a standard Strat pickguard? I don't know. First of all, I think it's 8 holes, right? 1, 2, 3 on the, right? 3 down this side, 2 in the middle, and 3 on top. That's 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do they make 8-hole Strat? I thought it was 9. I thought it was 9 or 11 or like 12. Or no, 9, 10, and 11. Or is it 8, 10, and 11? I don't even know. So, because I don't really mod my guitars ever. So, I'm not really shopping for parts much. So, I don't know. The other thing they say is take the pickguard out, lay it flat on something like rubbery that will grip it, and just run some sandpaper over it, wrapped around a block in like one direction. It'll restore it, but I don't know. Well, it sounds like a pain in the ass. It doesn't look right, but that is absolutely the right pickguard. That's it. That is absolutely correct. No, that's correct. Kramer, again, this could just be a standard Fender pickguard because they weren't really making shit. Right? But that is correct. That is absolutely correct. If you go and look up the... Yeah, oversized dots on this because of the ESP build. And they're real mother of pearl. So, Sports and... By the time this is made, they're not even using Sports and Lucido anymore. They're 100% with ESP. And, yeah. That's how you would tell the difference. Sports and Lucido are definitely smaller dots. Yeah, because it kind of does look like that Charvel. From Guitar of the Week. Yeah. Very much so. Kind of reminds you of an... I might have even said that. It reminds me of an old Kramer Pacer. Oh my God, pickguard, $301 plus $163 shipping. It's almost what I paid for the guitar. That's a hard pass. Yeah, I thought most Fenders were like 11 screw. I agree. Some people say, well, you just get a Fender single, double. with, but it won't have this cut. You'll have to drill that special. It won't have that cut out on it. You see, you just get the Floyd Rose cut. But it's not that easy. It's actually kind of a pain in the ass. I think I'd have to have it custom made. Probably from WD. You know. You got a Focus 5000. So the Focus, were actually they weren't too bad. As a matter of fact, certain Focuses were pretty much the same as the Kramer American Pacer, like Imperials and Deluxes at the time. Almost the same exact build. The difference was the pickups and the electronics, which were all done in Japan before they got here, and they were finished in Japan. Right, so the guitar was finished in Japan, and all, right, all that. A lot of the bodies and the necks were still made by ESP, especially the necks. I think the bodies were more made by Sports and Lacido. Just maybe because they were just heavier to ship. I mean, these are the things that go into manufacturing, right? Transportation and production costs. So you can get some Focuses, especially the ones with the old beakhead stock, that are pretty much like the American counterpoints, but with Japanese pickups instead of the Schaller. Maybe at the time they were doing that, they had moved to Duncan, and so you wouldn't get the Duncan, you'd get ESP, get some local Japanese-made pickup. But they used a real genuine Floyd Rose, and they were pretty much the same exact neck. I played a couple of them, like, this is exactly like my 83 Kramer Pacer, like identical. So clearly it was the same neck maker, right? They felt exactly the same. The only one that was weird was that wide one I got. So, I put the guitar on layaway. I'm making payments. It takes me so long because to come up with, $700, and it was like practically $750 by the time I was done with tax for the goddamn guitar. That's a lot of money in 1984 for a kid who's 18 years old, and to try and come up with that kind of cash. And it took me a long time to raise that money, and I kept making payments. And then I went in there to get the guitar, and they're like, oh, well, the original guitar we long sold. I'm like, really? They were like, yeah, we can't hold the guitar that long. And I was like, oh, I thought you were holding the... No, you can just pick one off the shelf now that you've paid for one. Okay, but they had all switched to this really wide neck. I picked out a red one. I don't even think I played it. I got it home. I'm like, oh my God, I hate this neck. I spent so long. I might have been able to return it, but not really. What a big pain in the ass. And eventually I sold the neck. And pretty sure I sold that neck, and I put on a regular. I got one of these necks. I got a pointy beak that I ordered from Kramer. I hated the neck. I liked the guitar, but I hated the neck. We were a Kramer deal. I paid $115 for that neck. And then when I got the Pacer, which the dude brought in for sale, I wound up buying it had a snapped Hondo neck on it. Wound up buying it for $50. And I think I paid $120 or $125 because just in those few months, they'd gone up in price. And that was a rosewood fretboard. The one for the Imperial was a maple fretboard. I hated that wide neck. Hated it. couldn't stand it. Couldn't wait to get rid of it. Because I was coming from a guitar that did not have a wide neck, which was that Strat. And I thought it maybe was for the Floyd Rose, but I didn't remember it being that wide when I was trying it out. And the guy even said, oh, no, these latest batch, it's like, you know, I think they were an eighth of an inch wider, was the rumor, which is, that will feel massive. Yeah, Hondo guy, it was missing the original neck. It had a Hondo neck on it, and even that Hondo neck was broken. $750 in 1983 is $2,400 in today's money. Yeah, it's a lot of money to raise as an 18-year-old. You know? Yeah, these were like I think this was more like $8.99 because I think there was $8.49, or maybe it was $8.49. It was $7.99 if you got the transparent red or the transparent blue, right? Because there's no undercoat. It's a much faster spray, or black or white because they were solid colors, no metallic. So black or white, and I think the white was cream. So, or maybe it was black, white, and cream. And transparent red and transparent blue were the stock sort of regular colors. And you'll see a lot of the transparent red and transparent blue ones out there. But if you wanted a metallic color, metallic red and metallic blue, there was like a metallic blue burst. There was a few different ones. They were custom colors, but you wouldn't order it like a custom shop guitar. You just paid, they just declared it a custom color, and it was $50 more. 50, my God, when we lived in that house in Hyde Park in the 70s, our rent was $75 a month. $75 a month for a two-bedroom apartment in Boston, a whole floor of a house is kind of not happening these days. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, right there. Yeah, probably around, right? 84, 85. That's 85. I think it's like here. Yeah, that's 86. That's 83, 84, 85. Yeah. There you go. I know it's a little hard to see. Let me see if I can zoom this in. Can I zoom? Yeah, there you go. So, Pacer Deluxe $8.99, and then standard finishes: blue stain, red stain, black, white, cream. Custom finishes: candy red, candy blue, blue sunburst. I forget what that is. That's I forget the name of it. Champagne fluorescent pink. Fluorescent pink one was hard to find. Champagne, which was obviously a metallic color. I forget what that was. It was like some sort of a, it's a red, a blue, and a pink, and they have a special look to it. I can't remember. That was like early 87. That's 87. This would have been 86, but there's not a lot of detail here. All right. There's the Pacer Deluxe, $949, but these are list prices. Didn't really sell for that. There's your Focus and your Striker. Kramer, 87. You know. Where's the Pacer Deluxe? See, By the time you get here, the Pacer Deluxe is $11,1995. That's up there. And it's so funny because by the time they're saying Kramer American, and that's even without a case. You wonder if that case is additional. Custom color, charge 50. Left-handed, fish extra 50. But by the time they're doing this, they're doing the Stage Masters, which I don't think were painted in the U.S. at all. Those neck throughs, I swear those were all painted in Japan. Yeah. Yeah, it's like an 87 as well. Yeah, this is pretty late. Schuster and Savants, Farringtons. I think I have the KFX, right? That's the Explorer. Interesting. Anyway. You know, if you want to find something out, just look it up. Was it fire alarm red? But that wouldn't make sense with the blue. Is it fire alarm blue? I'm not saying it isn't, but that doesn't sound right. Let me see if they have a color staging here. Yeah, I'm not seeing a colors list. No, Spectre bases, though. Yeah, and that's 87. No, nothing. Night Swan. Flip flop. It's flip flop. That's what those letters are. It's flip flop. So if we go back, can I find that? Again, just you gotta do a little research. No, a little bit. Candy red, candy blue, blue sunburst, flip flop red, flip flop blue, flip flop pink. That's what that means. Flip flop, like that Chapman sitting next to me. It's flip flop. Flip flop red, flip flop blue, flip flop pink, champagne, and fluorescent. To be honest, I'm kind of curious what that flip flop red looks like. Like, what are the other colors? Is it red to green? Right? What's the alternate color? Usually it has something to do with the spectrum, right? Because it's a mix, right? Because you're looking at a pigment, and then a pigment combines with some other color to create the new color, right? It's the angle of the pigment. So you wonder what the two colors are for the pink, and we know what the blue is. It's purple. But what's the red? And what's the pink? What are the alternates? Right? What's the alternate color to the primary color? So you were just looking at a flip-flop blue, and as we turned it, it turned purple. If you're looking at this straight on, it'll be pink, but as you turn it, what's the alternate color? And same with the red. I don't know what the alternate... I've never had a flip-flop red or a flip-flop pink. Only the blue. Yeah, it could be orange. You know, that would make sense because it would be some derivative, right? Isn't it a combination? Right? So it's going to be like green, right? Or something like... So you have red. It's going to combine with some other color to make a new color, I think. Yeah, for the red. What would be the pink? I'll probably just look it up. Flip, flop, pink. It's purple. Oh yeah, which uses a lot. They call them chameleon, but you know, there's a lot of different ones. Green to gold. There's the blue to purple. Another like blue to purple, right? There's a lot of different schemes. Interesting. See, I'm telling you, the pink and the green, or like, you know, that's pink and blue. So they're definitely out there. Chameleon, flip flop. You had a flip flop, Kramer? Yeah. It was pink and red when you turned it. Yeah, interesting. Oh my God, that is good coffee. I am thirsty. It's been pretty dry. Yeah, right. This is the Steve you remember. These pretzels are making me thirsty. It's funny because when I had them over for the jam, I had some pretzels out. It was only a matter of time before the pretzels are making me thirsty joke came out. I put out the peanut butter filled pretzel bites. Costco. It's a Costco buffet, and some smoked almonds, which are awesome. Hickory smoked almonds. And, you know, you put them out, and they're like, oh, no, 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 no. And then they're like, oh, my God, I can't stop eating these. Hear my heartbeat, hear my heartbeat, hear my heartbeat, hear my heartbeat, hear my heartbeat. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Aldi has all the big pretzels on sale from Oktoberfest, yeah. My wife scored a bunch of candy the day after Halloween. She's like, they get me every time because it's like, a bag of Halloween candy that was, $2.50 is $1. Or, if it was $3.99, it's like literally $1.50. She's like, they got me. The thing about Aldi is that it seems to be all internal branding, right? You don't really see a lot of Heinz ketchup in Aldi, right? There's no big brands. Yeah, I guess that's that's probably the worst. There's definitely like a little ding right there at the end. It's like, I'm going to be so careful with this guitar because it's in such freaking good shape. I'm so worried, but I could feel, you can. Where is it? It's right there. Right at the top. Right there. Right there. You see it? Pretty small ding, though. The worst is the dent right there. Right? It's got that big dent in the front. A little wormy. Yeah. It's like that inchworm you rode as a friggin' kid. It's a Loch Ness Monster. Oh, wow. Nelson. Well, you guys are in luck because YouTube is making me put out some members-only videos. So get ready. Andy Thomas. HRH. Herb of Fireside Studio. Larry John. And Hit Metalworks. Shame. So stay tuned. Yeah, you gotta wear your members only jacket. What's that great line from what is it from I can't think of the name of the movie, but basically it's he's wearing a members only, so she goes, so what are you, like the last member? Oh wow. Tony gifted memberships. Rico B. Green Meanie. Top Load Deli. Guitar Talk Universe. Scott Brockaway. Welcome. And Shame. Yep. No, we gotta get it lower. Your life is over. Shame. Shame. saying if Stevie Ray had lived, he'd probably be playing a Kramer Pacer Deluxe. Probably. We can only speculate. See if I had good results with 2500 grit auto body sandpaper rejuvenated pickguard material back to matte finish. With a Harbor Freight vibration sander. I got a ton of those. Dry, past, and wet. You know, I could give it a try. What is a crybaby? What? What cries? What crybaby cry? What? Oh, you just flopping. You're flopping down like a flop flop. I have not tried a new Ultra 2. I could request one. Check out all the innovation. You know, Fender was getting dragged for that, but, you know, give them a break. You know, it's a goddamn guitar. They, quite frankly, haven't changed much in, 60 years, 70 years. So... I think the reds are actually very similar. I think it's a little darker. Just look, but you know what? That's under that light up there. So I might just look. I'd have to put them side by side. They look about the same, but quite frankly, that looks just a tiny bit lighter in color than this. Or sometimes it's more of like a silver undercoat versus like a gold undercoat, right? Yeah, when this showed up, it was, it played okay as long as you didn't try to bend a note in the upper registers. Couldn't bend a note worth a shit. And you know what? The frets were pretty worn and divoted down here. Really between like the 2nd fret and like the 10th or 12th fret. Really like the 10th. Between like 2 and 10. Like, right in here. It seemed like, most of the playing had been done. The frets were pretty clean, especially above the 15th fret. Really clean. So, I didn't do a super long bar for the leveling. I used a shorter bar. I almost did a compound radius. I stuck with 12-inch radius, which is what the fretboard is. But technically, in the upper frets, when it was fretting out, I said, well, maybe you should just compound radius and just, once you get up to like the 13th, 14th fret, just switch to a 14, right? Make it a little flatter, make it easier to bend. I do a little compound radius. Everything from, like, say, the 15th and up is 14 instead of 12. But that wasn't it at all. It was because that guy shimmed the neck and, like, was forever trying to get, like, his, like, Ferrari friggin', fret string height. He wanted it, like, super low. And, I mean, it worked, but it worked to the detriment of bending. Couldn't bend a note. And I'm able to get pretty much the same action he had. This action really isn't any higher than what he had because I freaking tightened the neck and freaking straightened it out a little bit. And, and adjusted the thing. If anything, the springs on the back could probably be tightened up just a hair more. It is just ever so slightly pulled forward a little bit on the bridge. I could probably do a tiny bit. And I mean like a quarter turn. But, I'm replacing those claws because it has the two individual spring claws from the trem setter. And they don't fill me with confidence. So I'm going to dump those and replace it with, I brought a brass claw for $10. And I put a brass claw in there. Still got your gray Ibanez. I've never owned a gray Ibanez 550. You mean my 560? That's silver. It's called Violet Pearl. That's a 560 though, not a 550. Constantly amazed at how many people are terrified to adjust the truss rod. How many people don't even get, well, how does it work? I'm like, really? How long have you been playing guitar? To tighten the truss rod and pull the neck back, you tighten it. Well, how do you tighten it? Well, how do you tighten a screw? What is wrong with you? It's like, man. So I knew it was trouble when it was loose. And a little bit of tightening. You don't want to go too nuts because truss rods work. When they're working, they work right. And they will rip that neck. It'll rip that thing right back. And you will absolutely like bow the neck back if you tighten it down too much. Oh no, then they'll go like, yeah, but but now I'm looking at it from the base. Now what? It's still the same thing. Right tight, left loose. Yeah, but now I'm looking at it from this way. Yeah, it's the same thing. Clockwise to tighten. It's always clockwise to tighten, counterclockwise to loosen. That's it. Period. End of story. Gifted an 87 Deluxe. How to tell if it's legit or parts. Go to like Vintage Kramer. They have a lot of details on there. Go to some Kramer forum. Take a bunch of pictures. Show it on the Kramer forum. Is this legit? I see those nonstop on the Strat forum. I'm looking to buy this guitar. Is it legit? A lot of times it isn't. It's what we would call too good to be true. What's up, Sassy Cat? No, we don't have humidity. We were low. Our humidity not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that, the humidity was 59, almost 60. This past Wednesday, it was 7. That's a precipitous drop in 1 week. You had to choose between a Vola Aries, like one of these, the Aries, or a Keen machine. If the money didn't matter, would you still keep the Aries? Absolutely. I like the Aries better than the Keen machine. For one main thing, I'm not a big fan of the Fishman pickups. They're a little too metal for me. I get it, but it's for a dude who tunes his guitar, I think, a lot lower. Those pickups were designed for people who tune to D or down to C sharp, drop D, drop C. They're tuned much, much lower than I tune my guitar, and I'm sure those pickups sound really good then. To my ears, they sound way too mid-pushed. The alternate one, right, because there's an A and B. The B to me sounds way better, but then you're sitting there with the pot up all the time, right? So if I was going to keep it, I would want to keep it. I would want to reverse the wiring, so when it was down, it sounded like normal pickups, and when it was up, it gave it that big mid boost. That could work. That's how I'm not alone. That's how Greg Koch wired his. He wired his in reverse. And he marketed it like that. Yeah, and then you can get a mid boost if you want, right? Because he was just like me. That sounds way too mid pushed. In that sense, I like the Aries way better. I think it's got a better sound of pickups. You know, I'm not a chug dude. I'm not going to be doing, and that's got the Duncans. That's got the same thing. That's got the Pegasus and the Sentient. Same thing as what they're doing in the... I'm pretty sure that's the exact set in that, the Pegasus and the Sentient. And I think they sound great. I think they sound really good. No, all day, the Aries. I really like the neck on that Aries, too. I'm a huge fan of that neck. I like the binding on it, which you don't get on the Keen Machine. Keen Machine is nice. Don't get me wrong. It's a very like sort of modern looking guitar. I mean, it looks like a race car. I mean, it is a nice looking guitar and everything. But by the time you're done changing the pickups and doing all that, I just get one of these. And I'd probably get one with the flame top. I just think the flame top looks good. That's just me. But for me, I'm way more into, standard tuning, E flat, like the Van Halen. If I even go down all the way to D, it's pretty rare. It's only because there's an Ozzy tune or a Sabbath tune where they tune down. Or, you know who tuned down a whole step on a whole bunch of tunes? Motley Crue. There's a whole bunch of tunes that are tuned down a whole step across the board. You're like, well, how come this doesn't sound right? Because he's using open strings and he's tuned down the whole step. Once you do that, oh, now it sounds right. You know. Fishman or EMGs? I like EMGs. You know, again, Fishman tuned their Fluence pickups for the chug crowd, for the chuggy chugs, getting chuggy with it. And that's just not me. The closest I get to chugging is... Sure. When I chug, Randy Bachman, goddammit. I know what you're saying. It's Crocus. Randy Bachman wrote that tune. It was their only friggin' hit, right? Yeah, it's free when you do it yourself, exactly. Just like crowning and leveling frets. I started on, in one of those Chinese guitars, and I was like, this is a piece of cake. Nothing. It's easy. I don't know. I seen any early Black Friday deals? Not yet. I think Rev has started to post some stuff. They're going to do 20% off, I think, on their pedals, and they have a bunch of amps. So they're going to discount between, I think, $100 and $300. I think I got that email today, so I'm just starting to see them trickle in. I told the guys at, I think Vola's going to do something. I told the guys at Zounds, let me know, because I'll do a video. Usually I put it out on Black Friday, like early Black Friday morning. And I'm just like, here's what I found. This is what's out there. So there might be like an extra special code for Vola. Like I said, Rev. I'm waiting to see what they're going to do at Zounds. They'll probably have some stuff. And then I usually go through Amazon. And I see if Amazon, has anything, because that's a lot of people just, have an Amazon account, so that's, that's a good link to push out. The headphones are usually the deal. Let's see if they do it again. The headphones are usually $189, $199, and they do them for $89. In fact, if they do them for $89, I'll probably get a set because I want a set for the attic. Just because they're so comfy. Yeah, you can wear them all day. I don't think I know any Anvil. I mean, Anvil kind of sucked, too. They weren't a particularly good band. There were a ton of bands back then. Vola's running at 10% off now, yeah. I watched that documentary. They were pretty weak. There's a reason why they probably didn't make it. Not every band was good. Pegasus pickups for the bridge and aimed at prog metal players. Interesting. High gain output. You still have a bit of PAF tone hanging in there. Yeah. Well, certainly they have a higher output because when I plugged that guitar in, I was getting a way hotter of a signal. When I plugged this in, I had to turn it up because the JB clearly is more of like a medium. Yeah, lips. The smart one was the drummer, right? He had a real job. Yeah, a lot of companies are doing early sales. They're trying to do things earlier and earlier. Yeah. I tell you who sounded good. I saw them recently doing something. Were they in Stern? I forget where they were. Was Def Leppard. And for a band that uses such backing vocals, and they were clearly singing because it was far from perfect. I'm not hearing a lot of backing tracks going on there. They sounded really good, man. Sounded really freaking good. Got to hand it to them. They were one of the early players in the 80s. Their big peak was in what, 83? When did Pyromania come out? 83, 84? It's pretty early. That's not an 85 or 86 album, I don't think. Pyromania is like, I thought more like 83, 84. But maybe my timing's off. Yeah, 83. The year I got my license, 83. Summer I went to Berkeley. It all happened in 83. Yeah, sounds good, speaker. Maybe I don't know if you're around on Friday. Um, Maybe we'll go see our friend there. Give him that guitar. I've had that sitting over there. I want to get it out of here. We'll figure it out. It doesn't have to be. Or we can figure out another time, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, Hysteria, was it 87? I almost feel like that might be 86. You think it's a little bit later, but then you go and you look at it and you're like, oh my God, actually it's a year earlier. Could have been 87 though. Hysteria. You could be right on that. Because they had such success of Pyromania that I don't think they feel the need to rush back in and do another album. You can take a day if necessary. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look, but maybe on Friday. We'll see. I got to talk to him first and see what's available. So before you take any time, let me talk to him and see what's up. Yeah, 83. Synchronicity, Flashdance, Thriller, Shout at the Devil, Mental Health, Pyromania. Yeah, that was a good year. 83 was a good year for music. Without a doubt. Hysteria was 87. Yeah, that does sound right. What a 4 years between albums. Right? Did they have one in between? I don't think so. Yeah, I thought Thriller was 82 as well. I thought it's older than you think. Yeah, that's right. And the drummer lost his arm. That's right. That's probably what threw them. Was his, near life-threatening accident. He had to recover from that. He had to go back and learn the drums. They had to modify the kit. They had to modify like a few things. And he doesn't play the backing. I think he's pretty adamant that it's him. And, that probably was that was probably 2 years right there. Just going through that recovery. What a goddamn, horrible, what a horrible, thing to have to go through. But, he came out on the other side of it. Yeah, Bark at the Moon was 83. Mental Health, though, man, that was the album. Mental Health. They never quite got back. To that first album. And their biggest song was a cover. Burning through 2 cassettes of Hysteria and Dokken that year. Yeah, my God. The cassettes sometimes didn't last. They'd be jamming on you. Like, oh, my God. This isn't happening. Snap. Like, oh, my God. All right, dudes, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to call it a night. You guys have a wonderful night and a wonderful week. We'll see you all in a week. Welcome to all the new members. Keep your eyes peeled for new dedicated members-only videos. As YouTube puts the shotgun to me. And there you go. I will see you guys all in a week. We'll do it all again. I got a few videos coming out this week. Doing sort of a Donner roundup for them. And, of course, I got Guitar of the Week coming out on Monday. That's always fun. Got something very different this week. I think I've had the brand on the channel before, but never a guitar like this. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to study up some tunes to make sure I can take full advantage of the guitar. You got to learn tunes that favor. It's easy when it's the metal stuff. It's when it's the non-metal stuff that you're like, I don't know, what am I going to do? I'm going to start going through my friggin' Pink Floyd friggin' collection. Gotta be something in there. All right. No. You rock. I'll see you guys all in a week. Have a wonderful week. And we'll do it all again in a week. And there you have it. All right. Later.